Everybody, hope all is well. This is Chris with That's Where Sports and Outside the Quad, and today I'm breaking down the QB position a little bit different from most people and how they look at the game. As you saw in the thumbnail, you saw in the title, it's a difference between football players, QBs, and guys in the middle. All right, what are the rules, right? Let's break it down. Let's be efficient, and shall we be correct and polite to everybody? To me, we're going to start in the middle. The middle is a QB that has pieces around them. They're subpar, but they can win games with their arm, also with their athletic ability. That's a person that's in the middle. Now, for QB, it's just straight. Every once in a while, they use athleticism, but primarily they have a true number one or a solid solidified top 15 receiver on their roster that they can go to, and a comfortable tight end, you know what I'm saying, or a comfortable tight end, I should say, who is, let alone pretty much established in the NFL. With that being said, these are what I call your true clear cut. I'm not saying old school QBs because there's very few old school QBs out there. That archetype is dead in the NFL. I would say the new archetype of an NFL quarterback, that would be these guys that I'll fall under. Like I said again, the rules. A true number one or a top 15 receiver or a solid tight end and a decent, offensive line. Bar injuries, okay? Bar injuries, right? Okay? And then, of course, you got your football players where they don't really have a true number one. They don't really have a true clear-cut tight end. Or in this case, they might have one without the other. They might have like good offensive line, but no receivers. Or a good tight end, but no offensive line and no receivers. Or, say for instance, they have good skill players all around, but no offensive line. And they heavily rely on their athleticism, their arm strength, let alone their rushing touchdowns match dang near their running backs' rushing touchdowns. That's just what I think of when I think of a football player. Also, what separates football players from QBs and guys in the middle is in-game instinct. What I mean by that is, simple fact, third down, third quarter, they're down by 14. Pivotal drive inside, going into their own area, going into the other opponent's territory. They got to get it and pick it up. The play that was scripted was a simple, slant goes just to get the thing going on underneath, and it doesn't work. It's a busted play. They have the improvisation to make it work in that moment, and you can rely on that time and time and time and time and time. However, that's just being a football player. With that being said, who is who, what's what falls in the middle, what falls in QB, and what falls in football players. I'm going to start real simple. We'll just go with the traditional format, QB. Like I said again, my rules, let's see if I follow them, and correct me in the comments. Rule 1, like I said, top 5 receiver. A true number 1 receiver or a top 15 receiver or a solid tight end and a great offensive line. Not all 3, but 2 of the 3. And they rely heavily on their arm. And obviously they're somewhat mobile. But that's not really what they're known for, obviously. So with that being said, number 1 on the list, Trevor Lawrence for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Strong arm for a cannon. B+ receivers. I'm not going to say they're top of the line receivers. Decent qualified offensive line. Nice run game. Their skill, basically the skill position is not terrible. The setup is great. The division is just getting harder. So I can see why, obviously they're not going to win the division every year. I'm a Texans fan, so obviously we are in the way of that. However, Trevor Lawrence is what I call the start gate of this movement. He is a new traditional quarterback. That's how he moves. With that being said, next in line, Justin Herbert. Mr. I can't win a playoff game. Mr. He's annoying as hell to me. Mr. I think he's overrated, but he's always saved, truthfully, by something in that organization. Whether it be 2 bad tackles, terrible defense, or Trevor Lawrence just outballing him straight up in the playoffs. I don't know why, but I can't say that Justin Herbert is overrated, underrated, but I do know this. He's a clear-cut QB. Why do I say that? I've seen him play with solid number ones like Keenan Allen. But I've also seen him play with a B plus, C plus, B plus, C plus, running back core, tight end game, all that. I've seen it. And he's made it work. But not by his athleticism, just by his pure accuracy and putting the ball where it needs to be and just following the script of the players. Love it. However, that's just two out of the other guys that I have left. Matthew Stafford. Now, this is where people are going to be like, nah, he's a football player. Or he's kind of in the middle. He's a hybrid. No. Matthew is a true, clear-cut passer guy, football. He's probably the last of the dying breed when it comes to tradition QBs. And the guy that I'm going to mention after that is probably the second newest old school version of that. That being said, Matthew Stafford, obviously, I mean, it's clear as day. He was in hell when he played for the Lions, and he got out, got saved by the grace by the Rams, won a Super Bowl, good. True number ones, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. You know, they surround him with great talent, but before those days, he just had Calvin Johnson and everything else just sucked around him. And he still managed to put up solid numbers, which lets me know he was a true clear-cut quarterback. And every once in a while, I can understand, like I said, the rules. He falls in that football player category where, you know, he takes some instinct and he does some things every once in a while. But is he primarily known for running the ball? No. Is he primarily known for his athleticism? No. What is he known for? Chunking that bad boy down the field and hitting them boys in them numbers. That's what Matthew Stafford is known for. Just like the next guy, Jared Goff. Jared Goff is a QB. Ain't no way around it. You got to surround Goff with weapons. You got to surround Goff with a B minus, B plus offensive line. That's just what it is with Goff. He's not a bad QB. He's not terrible or nothing like that. But Goff is just, he is the greatest glorified game manager of our generation. He is the new and improved Alex Smith of our generation. That being said, I go to a guy that's just, I would say a tad bit better than Jared Goff, and that's Jordan Love. Packer fans, don't kill me. I play Little League football, and my first team was the Packers. I always have love for them, but this situation, the love that you guys got is not the love that you truthfully really want right now. There's sparks about him being elite. Is he elite? No. But has he been hurt? Has he gone through some things? Has the receiving core been straight? Has the offensive line been good? Has the run game been really consistent? Has Matt LaFleur really done good coaching to get him and to set him up in good positions? No. With that being said, I also love the fact that, no pun intended, I also love the fact that Love finds ways to keep the Packers involved, playoff runs, like he does what he needs to do as a QB. Athleticism, he's got a little bit, but he's not known for it. Can he throw that ball? Yes, he can launch it. Can his receivers catch it? That's another story. It's another story. And also, truthfully, I think Christian Watson is going to take a huge step this year for the Packers. Truthfully, because I know he's the only number one receiver. Duh, he has to be. But I also believe that he can be the clear-cut, true number one receiver and possibly a top 15 receiver when it's all said and done by the end of the season. On to my next guy. As a Texans fan, I love CJ Stroud. But also, I'm a realist. CJ Stroud ain't going to get us to the promised land. He ain't going to get us there, cuzzo. And with that being said, this is when I say he's a true QB. If you watched the 2023 season, two things took place. We had Titus Howard and we had Laramie Tunsil. The tackle position, chef's kiss. The run game, Joe Mixon, Dameon Pierce. The receiving core, we had your boy Tank Dell, Nico Collins. Things worked out well for him. Once we had to start paying players, the drop-off showed. And I know it's a curse. You don't take a quarterback from Ohio State. That's true. You don't take a QB from Ohio State. However, in this case, He broke all of the whatever the thing is, what you call it. He broke all the shackles, all the chakras, the cheese, whatever them girls be talking about where they break the curse. Look, he broke the chains, and we believed for a second that C.J. Stroud was the chosen one. He was the chosen one, and then I realized he got a little bit of athleticism, but he is very accurate. He can't put the ball on the money. I give him that. Now, this is where a lot of people are going to be like, "Bro, you tripping." Because when you read when I read you my middle versus my QB, you're gonna be like, no way. Joe Burrow is a QB, and that's all I have to say about that. He's got two guys that are possibly number ones. They can be number ones on any team. He's got a terrible offensive line, though. Terrible offensive line. Horrendous. Outside of that, the defense sucks. Everything else just sucks. But them skill positions, they fire though. They fire as hell. And the thing with Joe Burrow is that people don't understand is that he's a great player in a bad situation. And what sucks is when you're a bad player, when you're a good player in a bad situation, the worst thing you can do is ask for request in the situation. Because once things go bad on the way that you want it, it only gets worse, and you're the person that we're all going to point the fingers at. Paying Jamar Chase, paying T. Higgins, your offensive line is bad. 24th, I think, correct me in the chat, 24th or 25th when it comes to offensive line being paid for in the league. Come on, y'all. Y'all got a prime Joe Burrow. Please don't waste it. As a Texans fan, I know about wasting prime Hall of Fame careers. J.J. Watt, Andre Johnson. Trust me, I know. DeAndre Hopkins. Trust me, I know. Don't be like us, Bengals. Go get that man some help. And I'm not even a Joe Burrow fan, but I know football. Now, we've got off the QBs. Let's go down to the middle, baby. My favorite ones. Middle, Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels, Cam Ward, Sam Darnold. These guys, they're known for slight intent, how can I say it? They're known for slight intuitiveness. One person made this list simply because they just won the Super Bowl last year. And you can honestly say he was a glorified game manager. He's probably a better game manager than Jared Goff. You could say that. I wouldn't argue with you. However, Jared Goff ain't won no Super Bowl. He went there. He went to the party, but he ain't get no numbers. He ain't come back with no ring, no jewelry, no nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, however, the thing is with Sam Darnold, he won. And yes, you can credit it to the defense, but he didn't make mistakes, right? So he understood what he needed to do. But on the way to the Super Bowl, Sam Darnold was nice. And y'all have to stop disrespecting the Seahawks. They won it. Let's not say the Rams are going to win it all this year. You can't. I'm a firm believer, until the champs lose, the champs are the people you look out for. I'm just a firm believer in that. Cam Ward is different. Cam Ward can throw. He can run a little bit. He's stronger than what people fail to realize. He's a hard son of a gun to bring down. And then on top of that, they finally got Brian Daboll, which I think now the offense is going to have a lot more volume. I'm actually trying to be positive about the Texans and the Titans. I'm sorry. The wannabe people in Nashville. I don't like the Titans. But respectfully, I like what they've done this offseason. But we're not basing it off of what's going on to the future. We're basing it off of what's going on right now. Cam Ward is in the middle when it comes to the QB football player discussion. The reason why is for simply that. He knows he has intuitive. His situation is horrible. I don't know his true number one because Calvin Ridley kind of was in and out last year and he was injured. They got Carnell Tate, so we're just going to see how that plays out. Sadly, it's a bit of a question mark on him. Jaden Daniels, the greatest mystery of the NFL. Best rookie season ever. Gets him to the NFC Championship. Loses to the actual Super Bowl champs. So therefore, in short, basically, he lost the Super Bowl champs. Gets hurt next year. It's really hard to kind of put him where it needs to be. I would love to say he's a football player because of his athleticism, but I would also love to say that he's a QB because of his accuracy. But then both of them would kind of be, I would say, wrong. And I don't want people to get mad at me. It's just the fact that we only got 1 year's tape on this guy. We really don't know much about him. But what about Cam Ward? We only got 1 year's tape on him. Cam Ward was in a terrible situation. Cam Ward was the hope for the Titans. Jaden Daniels was in a great Dan Quinn, Kingsbury. He had Scary Terry. He had guys that he could get the ball to and they could make plays. The problem was we just don't know who he is without those pieces. We know who Cam Ward is without those pieces. Thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel about Jaden Daniels. All right, Cowboy fans, enough about Washington. Now it's time for y'all. Dak Prescott is the true definition of I can be great by myself, but I love me some CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. He is the greatest out of the guys right now in the league. He's the best regular season quarterback, Dak Prescott. That playoff Dak, I don't know who and what he is. He's kind of like Justin Herbert in a way. He gets the job done. He can throw the ball very well. He's very accurate too as well. But he's got some really good receivers. And you could argue and put him in the QB discussion by my rules. And he's got a great offensive line. Dallas has invested in a great offensive line. Just seeing Dak in the playoffs reminds me that his intuitiveness, his alertness, what it is. I don't know if you guys remember the Niners playoff. The last time they played the Niners in the playoffs, horrible. Time management, just bad. Just I don't know what happened. Yeah. You know what I mean? The thing about Dak is, though, he's got CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Ferguson, just all great receivers and tight ends, and a good offensive line. I expect him to do well. But what can go wrong, always go wrong. Here we go. We're out, Dallas. We're done with you. Now it's time to talk about the football players. And I don't really have to say much about them. I'm going to say it like it is. And I'm going to start from the bottom and work my way up to the top. At the bottom of this list, Baker Mayfield. Yes, Baker Mayfield is a football player. He's a winner. Don't tell that guy he's wrong. He's a fighter. He's literally having a contract dispute right now as we speak. And he will win that on the football field. Crazy. He's the type of guy you just don't want to piss off. The reason why I say that is the Bucs were battered and bruised. Yes, Mike Evans is Mike Evans. He's going to get you 1,000 yards. Chris Godwin, he going to miss him. It is what it is. Emeka Mbuka had to step up and be elite receiver as a rookie. I thought to myself, the Bucs should have won the NFC South. I don't know where the hell Bryce Young came from against the Falcons. He turned into freaking Drew Brees and Peyton Manning against the Falcons. I don't know what that's about. However, Baker Mayfield is carrying the Tampa Bay Bucs right now as we speak. That says a lot about a person who's had plague injuries, back and forth when it comes to the offensive line. Run game, good, bad, middle of the pack. Defense, it is what it is. Baker Mayfield is the solid force going forward. Next in line is Drake May. Drake May did exceptionally well this last season and the season before that. The thing with Drake May is he's very intuitive. And what I mean by that is, I'm sorry, not intuitive. He's very, what's the word I'm looking for? Not reactive, proactive. He's very proactive. He understands football. I don't know what the Patriots thought they were getting, but they got what they needed to get and a little bit more with him. He knows when things ain't going right, he gonna get his ASS out of there. He gonna move around. He gonna make some shit shake. He gonna do some things that's just, I'm gonna make it work. Whether he has to run, score, he doesn't look for the number one receiver. He just looks for a guy that's open and goes through his reads. I pray that Justin Fields finds this type of love when it comes to being quarterback, because I still believe in you, Justin Fields. I still believe in you. Now, Drake May, he does it all. But the person above Drake May, and also I'm not going to deny, that Super Bowl run for the Patriots last year was brutal, but they got through and they got it done. Quiet as it's kept, respectfully, I'm going to say this in the nicest way. They went and got some help for that boy, and they finna dominate in the AFC again. I can really see the Patriots taking off again this year. I really could see them winning the AFC East over the Bills this year. That's just me. Next subject. Caleb Williams. That's a bad man. He painted his fingernails, but don't let him stop you. Don't let them fingernails fool you, bro. He can play. Lights on. Hey, bro, he put the lights out on folks. He in seasons. That's just who he is. He reminds me of the Damian Lillard of the NFL. He's the Damian Lillard of the NFL. He's not a Steph Curry, but don't get it twisted. He can shoot like him, rock like him, play like him. Caleb is just great. And the thing about it is, what sucks about Caleb Williams is the fact that his coach wants even more out of him. That says a lot about your organization. When they seen what you've done, to me in my lifetime, the greatest Bears quarterback is Jay Cutler. I think that Caleb Williams has surpassed that by miles already in his second season. So, that being said, they lost DJ Moore. Luther Burden's going to have to step up and be the guy. I don't really believe in a 5'11 receiver as your number one, but Antonio Brown was great at 5'10. Tyreek Hill was great at 5'10, so maybe it might be a thing in the NFL. That might be what it needs to do. So it is what it is. I'll take that. Now, Bo Nix. You're saying you went in order, right? You think that Bo Nix is better than Caleb Williams? That long pause, right, should tell you everything. No, I'm messing with you. I don't think that Bo Nix is better than Caleb Williams, but I think that Caleb Williams' situation is a lot better. I think that Caleb Williams has a little bit better offensive players. I think that Caleb Williams has a better offensive line. I think that Caleb Williams has better tight ends. As for the Broncos, Courtland Sutton is old. They went out and got Jalen Waddle. Who was their other guy? Pat Bryant. Love him. Shout out to Fighting Illini. Pat Bryant was decent. He did go missing in the game. If Bo Nix doesn't get hurt, I do believe that the Broncos go to the Super Bowl. I definitely believe the Broncos go to the Super Bowl. There is no doubt in my mind. Without the injury, Bo Nix should be higher on this list for me. Basing this on the last 2 seasons of what I've seen, Bo Nix ain't bad. And he's got Sean Payton. He's kind of, like I said, just like Caleb Williams. He's in a blessed situation. But here's why I have Bo Nix higher than Caleb Williams on the football player list. Bo Nix has Sean Payton. Sean Payton understands football heavily, and we've seen it consistently. Ben Johnson, his first year, he did turn the Bears around. I'm not going to discredit him at all. I just need to see more from it. Consistency. Same thing with Jaden Daniels. Same thing with Cam Ward. I need to see it more consistently. Then I can make a fair assessment. I could come back a year later and be like, all right, cool. Josh Allen. Josh Allen is everything you need, man. Everything you need. Josh Allen can cook, clean, take the trash out, make sure you feed the dogs, paint your back porch, all in a day's work. Josh Allen is a good quarterback. But he ain't over no Mahomes. I have Mahomes as an asterisk on this list for the reason, just for the simple fact because he was injured. And the Chiefs kind of just took a downer year, and I know what Mahomes can be. So he's an asterisk mark. He is a football player in my eyes. I do have him as the best QB right now in the NFL when he's healthy, 100%. But we are talking in present tense. So Mahomes, as quiet and crazy as it seems, I know he'll be back. I know he'll be better. The Chiefs, the Red, they will be a force to be reckoned with when they're 100%. Now back to Josh Allen. Josh Allen's problem is he turns the ball over due to his athleticism, and he tries to do too much. He's a very reactive player, but I don't get it twisted now. He's also proactive. He understands immediately, hey, in the play action, all the linebackers bid on the run, dump it to the tight end. He also understands the RPO effectively. Everybody's crashing down on James Cook. Hit my boy number 10, Shakir, knock him, boom, buyout. Like, he just understands that effectively and very well. The problem is Josh Allen is his own worst enemy, and I can't stress that crap enough about him. And I also think that he's overrated. But I'm being fair. It's another video, another day. Don't worry, I got you. I got you later on in the season when he makes mistakes. You will come back to me. But yeah, don't get it twisted. Josh Allen is definitely a football player. Brock Purdy. I actually love Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy is out there playing with the unks. Old ass, just old San Francisco 49ers. Trent Williams is a damn statue at this point, bro. Like, just everything is beat up on the Niners. And what remains the same? Brock Purdy gonna find a way to get them to the playoffs. He gonna find a way. What I saw in that Eagles game showed me everything that I needed to know about Brock Purdy. If the Niners could just get younger. But who was his number one? Christian McCaffrey. Jawan Jennings. Who is not bad, but he will carve you up on them chains. He moved the chains. Third down, throw it to Jawan. Third and 7, 3rd and 6, Jawan gonna get open. If you're a fantasy football player, by the way, Jawan going to the Vikings is probably just chef's kiss gold. Get him in like the 9th or 10th round. I know that seems like a bit of a reach. Trust me on that one, bro. You're gonna love it. But Brock, like I said, athleticism, he's got it. Everything you need. Now, these next two QBs for football players, top of the food chain to me in my eyes. Lamar Jackson, he was hurt. And then, like I said, I'm going off of that. But before he got the injury, yes. And I am a bit biased in this one. You could say Josh Allen over Lamar. I'm cool with either or. If you want to say that, that's fine. I could make a whole video about just them two alone. Really, these three players alone. But I have Lamar Jackson at 2 and Jalen Hurts at 1. Eagle fans, I know y'all rock with me for that because he gets – the reality is about both of the quarterbacks that I'm about to say, Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. They get a lot of flack, but when they're on the field, they rarely miss the playoffs. They usually get to the second round. Lamar has some issues in the playoffs in the beginning. Same thing with, of course, Hurts. But the thing about Lamar Jackson is obviously, clearly, his athleticism is amazing. He's got a good running back there, Derrick Henry. They lost their center, but they had a kind of iffy offensive line. Daniel Falele, I don't know what. He was like, 6'9" and just trash? Genetically, how do you do that? Like, how? But breaking down the things even more, how I'm looking at it, looking at Lamar Jackson's situation with nobody on the outside, everybody's going to be like, oh, what about Zay Flowers? He's fire. No, Zay Flowers he works at Costco. I'm a Zay Flowers. I'm taller, stronger than Zay Flowers. I say that and I'm not in the NFL. And I apologize because he's in the NFL. He just got paid. He's doing way better than I am in life. Let me stop. I'm just saying, if Lamar Jackson had a true number one receiver, Lord knows what he could be. Right? And it's not like the Ravens didn't try. This year in the draft, obviously they got Jacoby Lane, Elijah Surratt, which I think is going to be very effective. Big bodies on the outside, and they can move as well. So I think it's going to be fun to watch Lamar this year. I do think they're going to throw the ball a lot more just because of that, not rely on his athleticism. Now, Jalen Hurts is different. Jalen Hurts has won a Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts has been to a Super Bowl and lost. He has been to the promised land more than Joe Burrow, more than Josh Allen, more than Lamar Jackson. He is up there. You could make the case. It's Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. You could make a case for that. And I'm going to do it right here, right now. Oh, he played with A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown was crying, and they still was managing to win games. Oh, he's got Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley wasn't the Saquon Barkley the second year when he got there. NFL figured it out. Oh, we got Devontae Smith and Dallas Goedert. I get it. You're going to go down the list of everything that he got. Everything that he got. I can combat that for one of the quarterbacks, Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. I can combat that. And this is where, I'm going to do a what if, obviously, video too as well. But to me, what I'm thinking right now and what I'm seeing, Hurts just wins games. He's a football player. Like I said in the video to the rules, athleticism. He's very proactive. He understands, hey, take what the defense gives me. You want to call him a glorified game manager? Whatever you got, you make that work. But at the end of the day, Hurts going to find a way to make a W out of nothing. So he going to get that win. He going to fight, claw, scratch, and do what he has to do to get it. And honestly, respectfully, Hurts kind of went to the city that does that. They going to always find. a way to win. Philly. And he's at a fan base they're pretty wild. I ain't gonna lie, they wild. It's Harry Potter, Knick fans, and Philly fans. You guys all are pretty crazy. Y'all are crazy. I ain't gonna lie, y'all are crazy. That being said, let me know in the comments what you think. It's been some time. I put some time on this video. But hey, if you made it this far, Texans are going undefeated. There's really nothing left to talk about. Y'all have a good one. Hey, I'm going to ask you politely if you want to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm totally down. If you're not, it's cool. Thanks for watching. Peace.